Welcome to the Time to Level Up podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Liebross. Each week, I focus on the systems, strategy, and big thinking you need to CEO your business and life to the next level. Are you ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Time to Level Up podcast. Today, I have a very special episode for you. Something that I have not done yet on my podcast. So I think we're up to episode 160 something, and it's about time that I interviewed my children. And I started this process with interviewing my daughter and two of her friends. And I didn't really know how this was going to go, but they were very excited about it and they were very willing to do it. And I learned a lot from it. And so I hope you're going to learn a lot from this conversation as well. Now, a couple warnings here. The audio quality is not great because we did this in my office sitting on the floor with my phone. But bear with the audio quality. It is worth it. It is worth it. You may have to turn your dial up and down a little bit as you're listening, but it's worth listening to. And the other thing that I want to just point out before we even get started is I don't really feel like I was totally surprised by anything they said. What I was surprised about, though, was the similarities in what they're going through and what I'm going through, or maybe you're going through as an adult, a full adult. I refer to them in here as young adults, which is kind of funny. But the things that I see my clients struggle with, the things that I still struggle with are things that they're struggling with. So I guess that's the good news, bad news, right? That what we worry about when we're 19 might be the same thing we're worrying about when we're 49. But I hope we get better at it. So I am going to kind of narrate this interview as we go through. And Stacy, my producer here, is probably going to chop me up a little bit, chop up the interview and chop up my commentary so that this flows into hopefully a very useful piece of content for you. And even if you don't have kids, I think this is just, or your kids are 2 and 1, this still is pretty insightful and helpful to just see what's going on in the lives of the young people of America, we'll call it. Okay, so the first question I asked them was, what's a typical Tuesday? And I was a little bit surprised by the fact that they are not staying up at all hours studying, even if they have a test the next day. I was super surprised that they love mornings. I was noticing that they too, like you, have identified times of the day when they do their best work. They figured out when a workout is most effective. They recognized that they had to learn how to study. They love schedules and they appreciate taking in their surroundings. So listen in to what they had to say about what's a typical Tuesday.
So for me, a typical Tuesday, I need to sleep in because if I wake up early, I'm not productive at all. And so I wake up around like 10:30. I usually start my morning with a workout because I like to do it the first thing and not the last because I think it gets my day started. And I think it's better to start than to unwind with a workout. And then I go to all my classes and then honestly just get dinner and go to bed. I think I spend my weekdays a lot differently than my weekends because I'm very productive on the weekdays and then I like to relax on the weekends.
I feel like my day is pretty similar. I wake up, I tend to work out. I tend to do my best work in the morning. So I'll wake up and actually do my homework or do whatever I have to do for the day. And then I don't have classes most of the time till later in the day. So I'll, exercise somewhere around noon. And then I go to my classes. And then when I come home, I'm actually exhausted. So I think that's why I just do my work in the morning. So typically past 6 p.m., I will be doing no schoolwork just because.
What are you doing?
But I guess instead I'm just hanging out with my friends. I live in my sorority house. So, there's always someone to talk to or hang out to. I'll eat. I'll sit in my bed. Sounds boring, but I'll scroll my phone. But I mean, in the morning, I just get everything done because my brain can't function as well at night.
8 p.m.
That 8 p.m. is cutting it.
Yeah.
I'm like more like 6:30.
So what happens if you had a test on the next day at like 9 a.m.? Would you be studying that night before?
Yeah, but my studying is definitely like better in the morning, and past like 8, it's like not even worth it.
There's like some girls that I know that like stay at the library until like 2 a.m. Like I could never do that. Like I have to like I make like schedules for my tests.
Yeah.
Like, I have a test on like a Tuesday. I'll start on like Sunday and I'll like do it during the day.
Yeah.
To like literally avoid night studying.
Well, yeah, I think in my freshman year I didn't really know how to study.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't.
I still don't really know how to study.
Yeah, I thought like studying was like not useless, but I thought I knew more than I did. But I think that
because when I study, I literally have to relearn everything.
Yeah.
And that's just not practical.
My brain's different, so.
Okay.
Maria, do you want to go?
Maria, what about you? What's your Tuesday like?
So a typical Tuesday for me, I feel like it's kind of like what Katie and Rebecca both said, like unwind in the morning. I like to take in I actually do really like taking in our really pretty campus because I feel like we're so lucky to be in a town where like the sky, like you can see everything. There's not like buildings blocking that. So I like take that in every here and there during the weekdays.
You're a big morning person.
I am a big morning person. My mornings are awesome. They're like my favorite part of the day. Like I hate when it gets to noon. I'm like, oh, the day's fleeing.
Mine is very rare for a college student. We're kind of different.
You're what?
You guys are different, you think?
I feel like all my friends are sleeping until like 11.
I won't lie, I'm a sleeper. Like the only reason I'll wake up early in the morning, like I can't have a class before 9:45. It's like unrealistic. I won't go.
Yeah. I'm up at like 8 a.m.
Yeah. I'm not out ready for class.
I do have a slow morning.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine if I have like a workout class at 8 a.m. But if that was a class, that's like not realistic for me.
Okay. All right. So some very similar themes that we experience as full-blown adults, right? We love schedules. We love a plan. We know when we do our best work. I don't think anyone on this call really loves staying up until all hours of the night working on business. And they don't like staying up till all hours of the night studying. So I thought there was lots of similarities there as to what's going on in their world and what's going on in ours. All right. The next question I asked them is what happens on a weekend? And what kept coming out was what happens on a weekend. First of all, the weekend includes Friday, kind of starts Thursday night, but everything is different for them on a weekend, on a Friday and Saturday. The meals are different. They don't do any homework. They sleep more. You know what? It's kind of what we strive for as adults. I hear so many adults saying, I want to be able to turn my brain off on a weekend, and I can't. Well, this is something that they are better at than us. And I wonder what happened to us as we became adults. We struggle with this, turning our brains off on weekends. And a lot of times when I'm coaching women, they say they want to have more fun. They want to have more time for fun. So these girls still are including the fun factor. And I think we probably should take a page from their book. So listen in.
That's where alter egos come out.
The mood has changed.
I feel like the weekends are just completely different. Like, I don't know, like, girls just, like my, like, Friday, like, I don't have any classes on Friday, so, like, it starts Thursday night. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, like, self-tan. Like, so Friday I wake up and I, like, it's so different because on the weekdays I, like, use my mornings so well, but, like, this is, like, when I become, like, my sleeper. Like, I'll sleep half the day because I know I'm gonna be up late.
Yeah.
Not, like, half the day, but I'll wake up at, like, 11:30, which is pretty much half the day. And then I'll, like, my day revolve around, like, oh, like, we go out at, like, what, like, yeah, like 10:30. So, like, even, like, my meal schedule is different.
Yeah, I, like, eat way later.
Yeah.
The meal times that they serve us are different. Like, on Saturdays and Sundays, our breakfast doesn't start till 11:30 because they just know.
Yeah.
So, like, everything's different.
Yeah. And then, like, I honestly don't work out on the weekends.
Yeah, neither do I.
Those are break days.
Yeah.
I'll, like, try to do something on Sunday.
It's like a walk.
Friday and Saturday is, like, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then it's like, we like get ready enough sometimes. Like if it's like a date party or like we're wearing like dresses somewhere, you like get ready to like plan time to have like pictures.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, but like the whole day is like leading up to just like getting ready to like
But
hang out.
it's fun.
Yeah.
So if your child is not doing anything on a Saturday besides going out, they're normal.
Yeah.
And they're living a good life. If they're doing schoolwork, good for them. But like, come on. It's like one day.
Saturday's the day that you should.
Yeah, Saturday is like no homework day. Yeah, I will do homework on Friday sometimes.
Yeah.
Sunday, obvi. But like,
It's also
Saturday, like, yeah.
not for one day.
And especially the school we go to.
Yeah.
Like IU Bloomington.
I mean, we go to a big
I feel like it's
school.
easier in college to just like not do it on Saturday. Like I feel like in high school there were some times where I was like,
Shoot, like after
well, I personally I had more work in high school than college, like more everyday work. Like
I guess.
Like this is all bigger stuff that like takes longer. Like
Do you think it was just more consistent daily work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because the assignment was due every day.
yeah, it was like this like we
Okay.
had the same amount of math homework every day.
Okay.
But now I'm done with math, so I'm not taking math. It's like bigger projects that take me like 3 to 4 days that I have to like time out. So,
Okay. All right. Maria, does your weekend look any different than these two?
Honestly, no. I feel like since we're all living in sororities, we kind of have matching weekend lives.
Yeah.
Even though you're not all living in the same sorority,
Yeah.
it's very similar.
It's very similar.
'Cause, like,
I feel like social life at IU is also. I think there's Greek life and there's also stuff like that's not Greek life, which is awesome too. Like
Yeah.
you know, but
That's just what we're around. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, everyone around us, like, the people that we live with, like, obviously influence our behavior. Like, if I, like, wake up on a Saturday and, like, I'm the first one up, I'm like, oh, I can, like, relax.
Yeah.
Because I live in, like, me and Maria both live in, like, in our sorority, we live in, like, the most crowded hall. So, like, if I wake up and it's empty, I'm like, oh, everyone's still sleeping.
Yeah.
But, like, if I wake up and I see people are doing homework, like, I'm like, oh, I need to be productive.
Mm-hmm.
And if, like, someone's going to the gym, I'm like, oh, I need to go to the gym. Like, Saturdays, it's not like that. Everyone's just, like, sitting on the couches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to reflect on what they said and then think about your weekend and what is your versus your ideal weekend. Does your ideal weekend look a little bit like their weekend, except the part of going out at 10:30? Maybe you're going out at 7:30. All right. So then I asked them what happens after 10:30 on a weekend night. And they kind of gave the answer like, it's not what you think. It's not what you see in the movies. And in fact, oftentimes after a while, we get burnt out of what happens on a weekend. And we don't need to go out every single weekend. That was interesting to me. So listen in to what they have to say about what happens after 10:30.
Secret society activities. We all stand in a circle and sing cult songs. We skip.
can you sing us something?
My vocals aren't very good right now, even though I'm holding the sparkly microphone. That does it. It's fake. It's fake, guys. I think
Good.
yeah. I think everyone can infer what happens past 10:30, but I think that
It's honestly not as bad
It's
as
not
like,
it's yeah. No one
awesome.
is out there like hanging from the walls, except Maria. Sometimes she gets a little freaky.
That's only when I'm home with the parents. It's only when I'm home with the parents.
She hangs off the rafters with Andrea Liebross.
Not there.
I'm trying. Like, it's just like honestly like basic stuff. Like you like pregame, you go out, come back, get food, go to bed.
Yeah.
And it's I will admit it's the same thing every single.
It does get boring, but you're like burnt out of it. It's like the same thing, same frats, same people, but like it's fun every
Fun,
time,
yeah.
obviously. But I mean, you don't need to go out every single day. Like
That's what I learned. This
yeah, none of us go out. There's maybe like I want to say how many like weeks are in a semester? Like 16.
Yeah.
I think like 4 or like maybe like 40% of the weekends I go out every single day.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I feel like when I first got in, it was like. It sounded weird when I first got in.
No, but like you just want it. It's so
Yeah.
new to you. So
When
it's
the plan
like,
started happening, because like freshman year, first semester, we couldn't do anything.
yeah.
So like when I finally started like have plans every weekend, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. Like I get to meet people and like go out and like hang out with my friends I already have. But like now that like I live with everyone and like obviously just close with all my friends, that it's like it's like I look at like the schedule, like my schedule now, and I'm like, oh, I like want to do it these days, and like I have to go every single time.
Yeah, and I feel like the people who are, I'm like take it back to this because I think it's a very important topic and something that all parents would want to know, is that the kids who are hanging off the rafters, if that's how we're going to talk about it, are the kids who growing up
had no
exposure, no experience, were very not held tightly, but yeah, kind of like held on a tight leash. I mean, all of our parents in high school, like...
Yeah, I feel like our experience with that is kind of different, though, because we grew up with, like, we've known each other since high school.
Yeah.
And, like, we had, like, a tight-knit friend group, and all of our parents, like, knew that we were, like, gonna, like, party together. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's, like, different for some people, like, because, like, your child doesn't need to be drinking.
Yeah, but I think it's very, very evident, like, who knew about this stuff in high school and who didn't. Like, it's very obvious.
And then I asked them, what would all parents want to know about weekends? And I thought their answers were interesting here. It kind of melds into the next question I asked, which is, what do all parents need to know about prepping a child for college? So a couple things that came out here that I want you to notice in the conversation is they said that they don't think there should be tons of rules, actually, prior to arriving at college, because that just makes you want to break rules. And kids that were held on a tight leash, you can tell when they get to college. Held on a tight leash in high school, you can tell when they get to college. And it's not a good picture. And I think the best piece of this was, don't let your kids hide what they're doing. Have open dialogue.
I think like have rules, obviously, but like...
And just accept the fact that your kid is going to drink in college.
Yeah.
Don't deny it.
Yeah.
Don't let them hide it from you.
Yeah, don't let them hide it from you. Like, they could be... I feel like my mom's always good about this. She's like... I mean, she cares where I am, but like, as long as she knows where I am, it doesn't really matter. Like... She also tracks me. But most of the time...
My parents track me too, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, I don't really care either.
Like, I feel like it's like...
Well, you're not... Like,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing to hide.
You're not telling me.
There's nothing to hide.
I don't have any reason to think that you're not going to tell me where you are.
Yeah, and like, I don't think there was like any point in high school where like I was like, like lying to you about like if I was drinking, if like where I was. Like, I think it was like pretty much.
And also, like, I didn't have a curfew in high school, but my dad always said, like, nothing good happens past 12.
Yeah.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I think we all agree.
Nothing good happens past 12.
And, like, that, I feel like that to me was more, like, influential than being, like, you need to be home at
Yeah, I agree. Because if there's a rule like that, like, you have to be home here or else, then kids are going to want to break that rule. It's just, like, human nature.
You're going to want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I wonder what it's like to stay out.
12. Ooh.
Okay, so do you agree that nothing good happens after midnight? I certainly do. I think that's a great one. All right, next I asked them what helped them most adjust to living away from home. Again, this is kind of goes into, hey, how can we be a better parent? And Rebecca was very vocal on this one. I think the moral of the story here is that you don't have someone do everything for you. All right. And if you think about this in terms of business, okay, so often we want people to do other things for us, but so often the way we learn the best is when we, at least in the beginning, do it ourselves. And I think that's a similar thing here, right? It's a similar thing. And going back to the tight leash, hey, if you hold your employees on a tight leash, they're not going to be their best selves. So let's see what they had to say about what helped them most adjust to living away from home.
holding your kids on a tight leash is a different story, but doing everything for your kid is like almost worse. Like, have them like do their laundry. Like, it's really like, and if they say no, just like be like, oh my God. Like, you're just like,
I think also, like, this is such a small thing, but like, once you like turn 18, like, people, like, you can make your own appointments for stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, in college, you're gonna have to call people and like schedule appointments with your advisor, like, meet with like your groups and stuff. Like, if you don't have good time management skills, like, if your mom or like your dad like made your schedule kind of, I think time management is a big thing.
Yeah, like I guess like I want to say since I was like 12, I've been like scheduling my own haircuts, my own nails, my own doctor's appointments, like everything. She sent me into that office alone. I mean, like obviously I didn't really.
She sent you to all.
She, as an Andrea Liebross coaching, sent me in alone. It was not a bad thing. I was an independent woman. I mean, I guess. Yes, thank you, Katie.
Maria's also
Maria's also very independent. But I guess I also went to sleepaway camp. So that's like one thing. I'm used to being like away from home for like 8 weeks at a time. And like,
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that's why I'm so independent. And like, I was like, again, like thrown into like an environment where I knew no one at like 8 years old and like had to, make my own friends and do whatever and like overcome challenges.
I loved Rebecca's mention here of sleepaway camp. I am a big proponent of sleepaway camp. And if you ever want to talk about it, call me or DM me on Instagram and we can chat about it. I will tell you all the great things and the bad about sleepaway camp. Okay, next. I asked them what was challenging. And my friends, I'm just going to let them talk here because the things that are challenging to them are the things that are challenging to me. Most obvious here was the compare and despair type of situation. That was really a challenge that they voiced. And I think we as adults also voice it. And Maria voiced the challenge of having to be a translator for her parents. And I think as a business owner, we get frustrated when we have to spoon feed things, right? So similar, again, their world and ours. Listen in. What do you think? What's the most
It's
challenging?
like the main things, like not the basic things, but the things that everyone knows, like comparison to like other girls. Because like in college, it is true. Like you go out and you're like it's like say you're wearing like the same top as like another girl, and you're like, oh, she looks better in it than I do. Like it's like stuff like that. It's like the basic things that like everyone knows that happens, but it's like real.
Yeah, especially when you're at a school with like 40,000 people and you like see like a group of, I don't know, I just feel like it's comparisons. That's
Comparison.
Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it really mostly just looks, clothes, or is it comparing other things?
I feel like I think it's also like grades.
I was about to say that.
Grades is a big, because I think people just get really competitive about like if you're in like the same classes. Like the second a test score comes out, like, oh, what'd you get?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you get?
I think that's like always been kind of.
Is that different than high school?
No.
High school,
And it's also like,
bigger.
I don't know, for me, it's more like comparison, like grades, and like also having a very like successful older brother is like,
Yeah.
for me too, it's just like comparing myself to him. And obviously we're like,
Are you him? You always tell me you're not him.
No, I am not him, but like,
I'm him with you.
but like when I get better grades than him on tests, I'm obviously gonna flaunt it. Like it's just, but again, it's just like, I mean, he already has a job, he's like making money, and I'm out here not. Which is
Yeah, but like you're not at that place.
I know exactly, but it's just like sometimes hard to grasp. That's a challenge, you ask.
Okay, fair.
Thank you.
Maria, any challenges? Okay, Maria, I'm going to ask you a specific question. How do you think having parents that weren't born in America has impacted you?
That's good.
You gotta sit down.
I think
Okay, so tell the listeners where your parents are from. And you too, but you were born here.
Yeah, I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. My mom actually was born in Cairo, Egypt, and my dad was born in Alexandria, Egypt. And they came here like 20, 30 years ago, maybe. And just like growing up, like I've always had to like, at such a young age, like English, like Arabic was my first language. English wasn't even my first language. I learned it from watching like just like TV channels and like finally
Sesame
like
Street.
Sesame Street and like Christian like cartoons. But my parents, they did, I think, fairly well with like raising me with the cultural barrier that they had. But school and everything, they put me in really good schools, which I met all my really good friends. And I feel like that helped me like also pave my path, like find who I am. Like obviously at first, like it was really hard in school with everyone because like I was so different. But
Talk about how
I was like a translator for them for so long. Still
I was
am.
gonna say you still are.
I still am. Yeah, it made me really independent, which I didn't really like notice till like I was way older. And when I was younger, I'd always get really frustrated because I'd be like, but all these kids like have their parents doing this for them. Like even like the doctor appointment thing. Like I remember getting so mad at my mom when sometimes like, it's not like she couldn't do it. It's just like sometimes she'd be like, can you just do it? Like, and I'd get so mad. I'd be like, come on, this is what moms are for. But like also moms are there to help you grow to be that independent person that they want you to be. Like,
yeah. So she
they're
actually,
not,
in a sense,
yes,
you could argue that you were becoming more independent.
I was.
Faster, maybe
exactly.
not with the rate of speed that you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I think you're very patient because of it.
I think so too. I love being patient.
Yeah, you're very patient.
My dad, actually, funny story, he's not patient whatsoever, like at all. 0%. And I think I got that from, well, when I see him not being patient, I always like, I'm like, yeah, remember Maria.
We have to be patient with his impatience.
Exactly.
True. Next, I asked them, what's a good way for a parent to ask you a question? And this kind of turned into a discussion about your relationship with your child. And I want you to take note of the comment about moms being too invested in their kids' relationships. I think this is a similar thing when you're too invested. There's a fine line being too invested in your client. In a sense, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you need to let your client do some thinking and exploring on their own. And that perfect level of balance between what you provide them and what they do on their own is tricky. And I think that's the same thing here that they're expressing. Listen in.
Well, I think like especially in college, like if I'm not like texting my, like, I feel like if a kid or no, like if my mom doesn't hear from me for a day, it's normally a good sign. If I'm like texting her nonstop, there's either, I know I don't usually do that, but you know what I mean? Like there's obviously something that's either bothering me or something like that. So not like texting is majority of the time a good sign. Like wouldn't you agree? Like you're not like texting your mom 24/7 about like random stuff. Like
well, I also think it's different because we like obviously school is like only like an hour away, which like I don't like. I honestly like I go like 2 to 3 days without calling either of my parents.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I go like more.
But like there's some girls that I know that like are like tell their moms like everything.
Yeah,
like every little thing. But wait, I think there's like always some moms who are like too invested in their child's like drama, like relationships, friendships. And I think all of our moms do a good job because like they're all of our moms. They know everything about all of us. Like we all hang out all the time. That like they knew like the good stuff, but like if something like really bad happened, they only knew that. Like we had like little like bickers and everything. Like our moms didn't know about that. Yeah. But like some other moms know about that like so much that like it changes the way they look at some like kids. Yeah. And I'm like, you do not like that does not need to be affecting. And there's also some parents like who get too invested in like high school relationships.
Yeah, that's like weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I asked them about relationships with the opposite sex or a significant other. And I loved the line that they are focusing on making bridesmaids and not husbands right now. So tell me what you think and why they're not interested in a relationship. All right, so let's talk about relationships. Right. So no one's in a relationship. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay.
Single girls.
Okay.
Oh my God,
so
independent woman.
So does anyone like want to be in a relationship, or is it just something that you don't really think about? Or do you think about it? Or
honestly,
more.
Right now, not at all.
Yeah, same.
Like
far from.
Because me and Maria are in the same sorority, and like Rebecca is in a different one. No, obviously you didn't know that. Rebecca's in a different one. But I feel like it's already so hard to, like, because I live with 90 girls and I'm friends with all of them. Like, to, like, leave that and, like, go somewhere else.
FOMO. Like,
yeah, like, I like, don't even think, like, right now, like, I don't have a busy schedule, but I'm just, like, in the point where I'm trying to make good friendships that I don't think I would even have time to, like, make time for another person.
I definitely think the friendships we're making right now are going to pan out to us finding these so-called long-lasting relationships. Like, I've heard
my
of
future husband.
Like, these, like, but that's, like, true, because I think right now we should, like, we're sophomores in high school. No, college, we're in college. We're sophomores in college, like, we need to be making friends right now. Yeah. We're making our bridesmaids, not meeting our husbands.
Yes. Oh, that's a good way to think about it. Okay.
That's why everyone used to tell me, like, you're meeting, is that the quote? Like, you meet your bridesmaids in high school.
No.
There's some saying.
All right, well, right now you're still meeting your bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so you're not interested necessarily, the relationship is not at the forefront of your brain.
Rebecca.
No, I agree.
Rebecca, do you have something to tell us?
No, Katie's just making.
Are you searching for love?
I'm searching.
It's like she announced it's just a new bachelorette.
No, like, I agree. I think, yeah, guys, watch on ABC. But wait, yeah, no, I agree with everything they said. I think it's just like one, I'm like not too busy necessarily. Like obviously, it's nice to have someone, but like I feel like
I mean, it wouldn't be bad.
I feel like
a little.
I feel like college relationships, in my opinion, for the most part, make things more complicated rather than easier.
Oh, okay.
I also think, I don't know if it's just me, but me and Mara are actually talking about this. That, like, we see that everyone starts dating, like, end of junior year, like, beginning of senior year.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like relationships don't start until senior year, where you know more about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair. So isn't that all very similar to business? Fear of missing out. You're always looking at what's happening outside of you and you feel like you are missing out. So that FOMO is a real feeling that sticks with you. Okay, next, I asked them about the future. What do they worry about? What do they think about? And again, comparison came up. But what was really interesting here in this little bit is their discussion of how they worry about having a job that they are going to like. And think about you as an adult. Don't you always want to love what you're doing? That never goes away. But a lot of it is exploring and recognizing that maybe all parts aren't going to be enjoyable. I think they recognize that too, that all parts are not always going to be enjoyable for them. So listen in. All right, so not just necessarily relationships. Do you think a lot about what's going to happen after college? Jobs, careers?
All the time.
This kind of goes back to the comparison thing. Like,
yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Because we both have older brothers. Like, my brother already has, like, a job.
Yeah.
And, like, knows where he's living.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm going to, like, end up liking my major.
I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I'm going to graduate.
Okay, I think we're all going to graduate.
Okay.
I feel
I'm on track for May 2023.
But, like, don't start for
I can graduate early.
Wait,
but going to.
I feel like I thought I was going to worry about it a lot more.
I am so worried about it.
Grades or jobs?
Grades, I don't worry about grades. I've always wait, like my grades now?
Yeah.
Yeah, know. I've gotten to the point where I know how, like, my mind works and, like, my time management and everything, that I'm, like, confident that I can get good grades.
Yeah, same. I feel like
if that doesn't sound like
I feel like none of us have ever, like, struggled with, like, grades. I don't know, we just know, but, like.
But I don't worry about that aspect, but I don't really, I don't, like, worry, but I'm just, like, curious when I'm going to meet my husband.
Oh my gosh, same.
Curious when you're going to meet your husband. Okay.
Or, like, because I just know I don't think it's going to be in college.
Same.
Okay. All right, but let's, like, so career, job, internships.
I just hear about so many people just, like, hating where they work. And I think I'm most worried about, I want to work somewhere, like, fun. I want to work somewhere where I actually like working there, doing what I do. And, like, I know it's just so hard to come by, like, right after college, but I, like, want to make that happen because I don't know. I feel like it's a little defeating, like, graduating college and just, like, going to somewhere that, like, sucks or, like, just sucks for you personally. Because you just have like 4 years of like amazingness, and you don't want to just have an immediate downfall.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And then I asked them what's the most stressful. And for one participant, the most stressful thing for her is she used the word balance and worrying about what she should be focused on. And again, isn't that similar to us? Okay, so comparison is a thing. Worrying about whether you're wanting a job that you're going to love or like at least. Where are we going to find our husbands?
and no,
Any other things that we worry about or stress about?
I think there's definitely more.
What's the most stressful thing?
I feel like just like balancing everything and feeling like everything just keeps getting piled on.
I think that's a big thing for you.
Yeah, I always
I
feel
don't
like,
worry about that kind of stuff.
I always feel like everything's just getting piled on, and I don't have enough time to like be dedicated to one thing. So like all my passion, like I'm like, where does it go?
Just like balance.
I think that's a big thing for you though. It's just like your everyday like schedule, just from an outsider's point of view.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you get stressed about like just what time you're going to like the gym.
Yeah, everything's a process with me. That's what I said. Like
this. Like her going to shower takes like 35 minutes just to walk 5 steps.
See, I feel like us three are very different. All three of us. Like,
Do you worry about that stuff?
Not really, because I kind of just do it as it comes.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I I feel like with you.
But I'm very easygoing and I'm very flowy. Like I feel like that's the thing we have all in common. We're all like laid back people, but I'm like, not laid back with myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's something that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
What?
Like being harder on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Than, or like sometimes I'll say, what's getting in your way of X? And most of the time people say myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, my friends. This next little bit is kind of interesting. These really smart girls have recognized that they have to learn how to manage whatever they're in right now. They have to figure out how to manage things from the place they're in, the stage they're in, the season they're in. And that too is what we have to do as business owners. So what's interesting here, ladies, is that a lot of the things that you struggle with, a lot of women who are 49 struggle with.
Damn. It's going to be here for a while.
It's going to be here for a while. So
Strap it.
figuring out now how to manage it and the place you're in is super important.
Back
So I think
to
it
the
sounds-
mom thing. I think that's because of our moms.
Yeah. Yeah, you think so?
Learning how to do it, how to deal with it earlier.
I mean, I know everything. I have a life coach as my mother. Guys, it's hard.
It's hard. What's so hard about it?
I don't know.
Do I make it hard?
Like, no, you don't make it hard. But like sometimes I'm just like, I wonder. Like I've had like 19 years of this, so I wonder how much she can do in 1 hour session on Zoom.
And you've had the benefit of 19 years in person.
Yeah, I get this for free.
I guess VIP membership.
I have the all-inclusive package. She sleeps at my house.
You got the overnight stay. 24 hours.
No extra charge. She even cooks me meals.
Used to drive me to school. Extra time for conversation.
Extra time for quality conversation. Aren't you lucky?
I'm so lucky.
And then I got to drop you off and yell things out the window.
Yes.
But it helps you become a good friend that you are.
I know. Oh my gosh, thanks God.
Long life friend, man.
Yes.
Long life, lifelong.
Oops. But watched another saying.
She always gives me words of affirmation.
Oh, the socks.
The socks, like last year, my freshman year of college, she would mail me socks that say, "You are beautiful." Socks, by the way. Like this was written on my toes.
I would look down at Rebecca's feet and see you are beautiful.
But weren't you like, oh my gosh, maybe
My toes told me.
one says, you are beautiful and you are amazing. Those are my two pairs.
You're amazing, right?
Yes, you're amazing. Go do amazing things.
Okay, as we finish out this episode, I am just not even going to say anything about this last little bit, and I'm just going to let you listen. because at this point we were a little delirious. We were doing this at night, and because they didn't want to do it during the day, of course. This is fun for them. So they wanted to do it at night when they were ready for fun. But I want you to listen to the end of this, and then hopefully it'll give you a giggle. All right. I think we're going to wrap this up. Do you have any words of anything else you'd like to share with our amazing listeners?
I don't even remember what I said.
So you guys are getting some quality advice from A-Lieb coaching.
All right. Maria, any final or parting words?
All I have to say is I love this. Thank you for having us on the show.
Okay. All right. Here's the speed round. You ready?
Oh, I like speed rounds.
Okay. Okay. This is how we're going to do this because it's going to be a little different since you don't usually live at home. Ready? 3 things in your dorm room.
That I like?
Just 3 things. Name 3 things that are in your dorm room.
My decorative rock, my fan, my bucket.
Katie, 3 things.
My makeup mirror, my winter coats, and my backpack.
My sneakers, my phone charger, and my apples, my green apples.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Maria, 3 things in your car.
My lotion, my charger, and my water bottle.
Okay. Katie.
My charger, my chapstick, and probably an empty water bottle.
I was going to say that. Definitely gum,
Oh, yeah.
a receipt,
Always receipts.
and just like a random chapstick just hanging out.
I love chapstick.
Or a hair clip, like a claw clip.
That's true. All right. Last question. How do you want to be remembered by? So many years from now, someone says, that Maria, she was...
I love this question. I hope they just smile and laugh and just remember that I would always be a smiley soul.
Smiley soul. Okay.
I think mine's the same as Maria. I feel like just remembering that I was a welcoming, positive spirit.
I think I'm the same way, and I think for me, just always being there in any certain situation, whether it's happy, sad, being able to accommate. I guess.
And I hope people think I'm funny.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Imagine if she was
my 8th grade one, and they will never let us down. I didn't even write it, but when I walked across the stage at my 8th grade graduation, they said Rebecca Liebross wants to be remembered for her witty side comments.
Everyone else was probably such a good.
That's pretty accurate, though.
I didn't know what witty meant at that time. Your high school graduation? No, my
8th grade
graduation.
Oh, she's Googling witty after.
All right.
What did they say about me?
We're gonna end on that note. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I do. And I think there's some things in there that are really valuable from a parenting perspective, but also valuable to recognize that the things you're worrying about now, you probably were worrying about when you were 19. Or at least today's world, 19-year-olds are worrying about the same sort of things. So this is kind of look in She Thinks Big. There's a picture and where I have a graphic where I have a spiral. I have a spiral about how our businesses just are very cyclical. And I think this is so true of life. Life is cyclical. We worry about similar things just in different ways as we evolve. But hopefully we get a little smarter along the way. So I would love to help you become a smarter, sassier, bolder woman and business owner this year. I want to help you through some of the things that you're struggling with. So let's have a conversation. Your next step here is for you and I to have a conversation. You can head over to AndreaLiebross.com and schedule a call. You can go to Andrea's with an S, linkswithaNS.com and schedule a call too and find lots of links to other things. You can message me on Instagram. You've got lots of ways to connect with me and to schedule that call. That's the first step. Don't be afraid to talk. They weren't. So now it's your turn. Let's chat about what you're going through, what it's like to be you, and how we can create the best version of you in 2024. Okay, my friends, until next week, remember, now is the time to level up. There's never been a better time. See you soon. Hey, listening to podcasts is great, but you also have to do something to kick your business up a notch. You need to take some action, right? So go to Andrea's with an S, links with an S.com, andreaslinks.com, and take the quiz. I guarantee you'll walk away knowing exactly what your next best step is to level up.